All right, welcome to another episode of the podcast, and super thrilled to have Greg McCafferty with me of JWD Tree Service down in Smith Falls, Ontario. How are you doing today,
Ah,
Greg?
good, Graham. Good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate
Awesome.
it. So this is exciting.
No,
This
no,
is great.
no, it's great. It was good to talk to you just before the show
Hmm.
and get a sense of who you are because, like I was telling you, I actually always seen your trucks driving around, and I was down in Kingston at the tree climbing
Yep.
comp, and I saw the trucks there as well, and I love your videos on
Uh,
Facebook as
we
well.
we
I see
actually
your
we
website, and we talked as well.
we snagged
Yeah.
the last front row spot. Somebody just pulled out, and I was able to pull right in at the TCIA right in front of
Okay.
one of the booths. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was trying to find you there, but you never know. Like, opera's all the same,
Oh, everyone's wearing
if you
high
never
vis and
actually
hard
see.
hats and chainsaw pants, right? That's yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But anyway,
Oh
thanks for
no, I
joining me.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Let's hit it up with that first question that I ask everybody, and that is, wh- in your opinion, do you have like one or two things that separate tree service companies that survive from those that really are thriving?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I found, Graham, is having consistent, reliable employees that care about the business. Right, my guys, I could call them on a Sunday afternoon. They're gonna answer. And it's kind of tough because you become friends with them, right? You have them over to your house for dinner. You guys, like we do things. I mean, you spend. I spend more time with the guys than you do with your own family, right? And I'm sure that's the case for pretty much anybody who works a full time job or. But yeah, it's having employees that care. They want to see the business grow. Like Justin, our operations manager, um, he's kind of hints at stuff, right? And he says, "Oh, geez, we could really use this, like like another truck." It's like, well,
Mm,
it's all well and good, but a truck is not a small endeavor. You're talking $100 or $110,000 for a truck, like so we gotta scale it back. But his intentions are there. So the other companies that
right.
my guys have worked for, they haven't seen any growth, right? And they get tired of
Mm,
having the same struggles. And they've told me that. They get tired of having, like we could easily get a bucket truck to this tree. Why is the guy struggling to climb it to get it down? Whether we can rent a lift or, save up money over time for a bucket truck. They want to see that growth. And that's a big thing
mm.
for my guys, and I mean, as much as it pains me to say, we're constantly reinvesting, and Greg's not taking a paycheck to make sure that the company can maintain
Mm.
and get new equipment to be able to make their life easier. Yeah.
Mm. So actually, it's interesting you're talking about this specifically because I come from the IT
Hmm.
sector originally. I wasn't doing all this, and the companies that I used to like working for are the ones that listen to the employees, actually respect their point of view because they're the experts and they're the people doing the
Yep.
work, and then bring them in like you said as almost as family. The ones that for me were always the worst were the ones that told me what to
Yeah.
do. He wouldn't listen to me. Do this my
Yeah.
way. Do this over there. Your sort of opinion doesn't count. And I'm assuming because I read some things on the forums in the internet as well, and some people seem to leave tree service companies fairly
Mm.
frequently or are not happy with the employer and
Yep.
things like that. I guess that's what you're sort of saying,
Yeah,
right?
and well, I'm sure we'll get into this later, but we did things to try and keep guys around because when you lay people off in the wintertime, you have a mortgage to pay and kids to feed. You can't go on
Mm,
whatever unemployment benefits are. You need a full-time job as a provider. So we started doing things to keep guys employed through the winter. Like I'm saying, I'm sure I've got points here, so I'm sure we'll come back to that later.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, and so you build a strong relationship with the guys because they're day in and day out. You don't have that big turnover rate, like so many other companies do,
Mm. Mm.
where it's just basically a revolving door of employees.
Mm. That's great. Okay, so good employees is one of the key things that help you to
Hmm.
scale, basically.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. The other one that I've really gotten on hold in the last 3 or 4 years is just pay somebody what they're worth, right? If a guy's
Mm.
coming to you and he's got tons of experience and like our operations manager, He's been doing it about 12 years, kind of the same as me. He does all of our customer interactions, all of our site visits, all of our quoting. He's
Mm.
there to not always do the job because like I say, he makes his own schedule, um, as far as doing quotes and site visits. But but he makes he makes double my wage, um, and because he brings that value back to the company, and
Mm.
he's hopefully
Mm.
he understands the value that we place on him, right? So we pay the guys probably more than what the going rate is, but then
Mm.
you get a better return from the employee out of that.
Yeah, yeah, right.
If a guy's worth $15 an hour or minimum wage, you'll know it within the first 10 minutes of having him on site, right?
Right,
So you're not
right.
we don't, like, we always start our guys and then we say, look, we don't have a 3 month, and then we come back and review it. No, I'll know in the first 15 minutes. If you're worth a grain of
Mm.
salt, I'll say, hey, look at, I told you we'd start you at this. We'll start you at this for the week, see how you do, and then we'll go from there on a progressive
Right.
raises.
I like that. I like that you have the experience to know what makes a good team.
Well,
That's what it
well,
is, right?
I've been there. I've been in both situations, right, where the boss will be there and he'll kind of be on site for 10 or 15 minutes and say, okay, yep, this guy's, you give him a $3 an hour raise, right? He's worth it,
Mm.
or not.
So, what about yourself? How did you get into the industry and end up growing the company?
Basically,
Let's hear your story.
yeah. Basically just needed money.
That's what
Yeah.
it usually happens that way, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
No, I was actually a third year apprentice mechanic, um, at a Ford
Mm.
dealership, a local Ford dealership here, and I had 15 grand in tools and was making. Sorry, here, let me shut that off. Sorry, I had 15 grand in tools and was basically making $12 an hour, and
Mm.
and I said, you know what, this isn't cutting it here for me. And one of my friends, who his wife was friends with my wife, we had met, and he's a forester for the city of Ottawa, or an arborist for the city of
Mm.
Ottawa. And Sam and I started working evenings and weekends, and we worked a lot of evenings and a lot of long, hard weekends. We had no chipper,
Mm.
no, we had a half-ton truck and what have you. But we bought our first chuck and duck chipper for $1,500, and that was a game changer, right? That was night and day difference from hand bombing stuff into a trailer and going that route. And I fell in love with it. I really did. Where because
Mm.
I had worked construction. You could be on a job site for 3 months, and this, you're a different site every day. The view is always great. You're meeting new people all the
Mhm.
time, and I fell in love with it. And then from there, I did, like we always do training, but I did my training with Arboriculture Canada,
Mhm.
technical rigging and advanced climbing techniques, and so on and so forth. And it was, for years, it was just one guy, and we'd hire on a summer student in the summertime, and we just kind of went with it. But over the last probably 5 years, we've really started to get more contracts and get better employees, like
Mm.
more skilled guys who have actually gone through school for it. And now we have myself. I'm not usually on site a whole lot anymore, but um, we have an ISA arborist, and we have a junior arborist who's actually got a oh shoot, not a horticultural degree, but a forestry degree. So everybody complements everybody. I do look back once in a while, and I'm still good friends with the guy that started it with me, and he didn't have time, so I had basically bought his half of our $1,500 chipper out, and that was a weekend worth of work at the time, and he didn't have time to commit to it, but yeah, we pretty much just ran with it. So when we incorporated, my wife came on. It was a sole proprietor for years, and my wife came on. So now we both we own the business together now. So yeah.
And so what you went for years, basically two people, I guess, and then you said 5 years ago you started to get some growth. Was that something that you deliberately moved into, or is it just an organic growth that started to happen as you get to know more people, a natural?
Yeah, like we had been since probably about 2013 thereabouts. I registered. I think the first time we registered was 2015, where we came up with the business name and so on and so forth. And JWD, like that stands for Job Well Done. So it used to be Job Well Done Contracting.
That was my next question.
Yeah, so that's what it stands for. And I have so many people ask, and so our operations manager, his name is Justin, and I don't mean to get sidetracked, but his name is Justin. So they say, "Oh, you must be the J in JWD." He says, "Well, no, I'm not." And I start telling him, "No. Your name, your number is on the quote sheet. You're darn right. You can be the J at JWD, because when somebody has a complaint, they can call you and not call me." That's fine.
Great.
I'm fine with that. But no, it started. I don't know. I've always, like, my father ran his own business for 30 years as an electrician, and he always told me, if you're gonna do something, right? And that's the time. It's been said 1,000 times. If you're gonna do something, do it right. But he'd always say, you're going to put your name behind something, right? Don't do a half-assed job, right? Do it to the best that you possibly can. And then, people are happy and they can tell that you've done the best job that you can. And so I always tell the boys, like, the customer never remembers the job you did, only the mess you left, right? And we don't get callbacks for cleanup because there's nothing to clean up. There's nothing left.
Right.
Everything's gone. Every stick, twig, leaf, acorn, everything. And that's where we really started to pride ourselves on the cleanup aspect of it. And that's when we started seeing a huge volume in return customers, where they'd have us there every year. And now those customers, they've been with us for 10 years or more. They don't want to price anymore. They just say, "Hey, whenever you have time, I have this tree, come take a look at it. It needs 2 branches pulled out, or it needs to come down, or what have you." But they don't want a price because they know the quality of work that we do, and we built that relationship with them.
Yeah. So would you say that, excuse me, would you say that the business is mostly built up by, doing good jobs, reputation, return customers, just expanding the reach?
Absolutely. It was a lot of years of back-breaking labor, starting out. Any company is, but yeah, like really focus on putting a face to the name, and people think that our operations manager Justin is one of the owners, so he makes darn sure that everything is perfect. Right, every job site is meticulous. He takes the boys, and they all have the calendar. They know where we're going and so on. But he meets them all on the job. He does a walkthrough with them. If the customer's there, and I've always told the guys, spend 20 minutes with the customer. Right, just walk around with the customer. Make sure that everyone's on the same page. Nothing gets missed. and that's really your time when you can say, oh, geez, this tree here, like you've got a dead branch overhanging your house, and I don't see that on the quote. Do you want me to pull that out for you? And of course they're going to say yes, and that's great. How much extra would that cost, and so on. But yeah, like definitely standing behind your product, standing behind the end result.
Good customer
Yeah.
service. Actually,
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
that is totally
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
yeah. Because I've heard some horror stories.
Oh, I
I've
see
talked to
them.
enough
I
operists,
I see them all the time.
and a lot of it is based on a tree service company that doesn't last long, who undercut price, then go into a job but haven't got the willingness to have good customer service or look at longevity, maybe. And then it turns into a real nightmare for the
Oh, I deal with them all the time. I just just on Saturday, I called somebody out on Facebook, granted, and I know the guy, and he's a half price Harry, and I won't say any names, but they cut down a town tree for a customer. We have the town contract for Smiths Falls, so I don't care personally, but it's a huge mess in his front lawn, and the guy, pull straps and metal equipment and ladders, and like it's a mess. It's a mess. But that's what the customer wanted. He wanted the absolute cheapest price, and that's what he got. When his taxes would have paid for it, he could have just called the town, and we would have came and done an assessment and pruned it and cut it down for free. So, but like we deal with it all the time.
Would you say in that last 5 years, would you say there would be, excuse me again, that flu is sticking with me. Would you say in the last 5 years, is there anything that, in the way that you've grown a company, is there anything that you would have done differently or used to help you do that?
I probably would have
curious.
got the organizational things on first, right? Like, like whatever, the Google Calendar or the scheduling or getting the quote books down pat, taking it sounds like a lot of money, but having a lawyer look over your terms and conditions as they're on the back of our carbon copied quote books, right? We have them custom made, and just little things like that where we were getting return calls as we started to grow. As we're sending out a 3-4 man crew to a job, we're starting to get callbacks for cleanup. And so, okay, like let's reel this back here. Let's figure out, and it's not cleanup, but say there's lawn damage, right? And they want us to pay to fix the lawn damage, and so we would go in topsoil, and it didn't happen very often, but it happened, right? So it's not a one-off thing. So to come in with like the carbon copy quote books, and I took them to our business lawyer, and I said, find some terms and conditions for me, and what works, and we'll review it and what have you. And one of the big things was he asked me a couple questions, and he said, well, you need to put on here, we are not responsible for lawn damage, right? You're driving a 30,000-pound truck across your front lawn. There's going to be some divots, right? There's nothing you can do about it. You don't need to tear the ever-living snot out of somebody's lawn, and they don't. We have mats and so on, and we do our best to avoid it, but there's going to be some. Or we back our crane across the lawn. Like, yeah, it's 44 tons. There's going to be some ruts. Right? There's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
Like, that's probably one of the biggest things that I would have done is gotten the organizational tools in place. If I had known, like, I don't want to, and I never did. I never wanted to be the biggest, right? Like, ideally we would have 2 crews, so 6-7 guys that would go out every day, and that's good. That's more than enough. I never wanted to be the biggest, so I we just kind of rolled with it, and then push came to shove, and we felt the growing pains. Like we're same as this snow season. We're feeling them pretty good now.
How do you mean? Dig into that.
Well, we have too many contracts and not enough guys or equipment.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
So a victim of your own success.
yeah.
Maybe.
And that's what my wife said. She said, "Well, you wanted it," she said. I said, "Yeah, no, I did." She said, "How are you going to do all this?" I said, "I don't know, but we'll figure it out."
Yeah.
Like,
it's a good problem to have. It's a better problem to have than not having the work.
yeah,
I
I would say that. Like as it kind of dies off for the tree season and the snow season picks up, right? It's that shuffle of men and equipment where trucks that we use for tree work are also used for snow. And so it makes things difficult. I run the snow side of things and like the bigger contracts.
Got it.
And so it makes for some long days for me.
Actually, while we're talking about that, I want to dig into that a bit because, as we were talking about earlier, it seems like winter's coming a bit earlier this year. Tree companies in Canada, especially Ontario and this kind of region here, less so the temperate climate, I suspect they have different problems over in the West, versus companies in Florida, let's say. So how do you, as a tree company in the North, how do you keep the work coming in over the winter? You're stopping tree work and going to snow removal, or you're doing tree work as well. What's your method for that? Because obviously some people shut down.
Yeah, and we used to probably until maybe 6 or 7 years ago. So we started doing a little bit of snow just to keep our main guys employed, right? And now it's turned into this thing where we do more in the wintertime than we do in the summer for revenue wise. It's turned into this chaotic mess, but that's one of the things that, but yeah, we started just trying to keep our guys employed. And this year we've got crews. We just bought a new tractor. We got a sidewalk crew, a shoveling crew, and a plowing crew. And we've dropped probably 3 years ago. We quit doing residential snow altogether. Period. So we just do commercial snow because we'd pick up one commercial contract and we'd be out doing that, and then our residential clients would be calling, "Hey, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. When are you coming to plow my driveway?"
Right.
Like, well, we're not. I can't be in two places at once. So we got rid of all the residential. Went with straight commercial. Our insurance went ballistic. They went through the roof.
Yeah,
like we're $40,000 a year just in insurance. And I said that to I don't know if it's my wife or somebody last week, but the business didn't used to gross $40,000 a year. Not that long ago, if you think about it. And now it's $3,000 a month just for insurance, just to be able to go to work. No, I'm thankful. I am, and it's the growing pains. Yeah, but yeah, I don't like to lay guys off. I've been there. Layoff sucks. You're bored. You can do a lot of ice fishing, but you can only afford to ice fish for so long, or skidooing, or whatever.
It's something that interests me because, excuse me, I have a friend who works in the landscape niche for his marketing agency, and a lot of landscaping, they do different work. They do the snow removal, they do the Christmas lights, things like that. When I talk to arborists, a lot of them don't look for alternatives. Is that a fair statement?
No,
or am I just
it is.
The people who shut down?
Yeah, no, it is. It is. A lot of tree companies, I don't know if they don't think there's an alternative, or Like we go through till about Christmas time, like December, maybe December 20th. We kind of do our Christmas party and shut down. I take the guys, out a nice meal, and we usually go to a hockey game, like a Senators game or something.
Mm.
Um, and people have one too many beers, um, but yeah, like a lot of companies don't, and I don't understand why. You have the trucks, you have the equipment, especially coming from tree work. If you're an established company, you've got
Mm.
pickup trucks running around. You've probably got a loader, if not two. The only thing, like, and I don't understand why. And I've asked guys why not, and they say, they just don't want to do it. Like, well, that's
Mm.
fine, but you're going to lose all your guys because they're going to go work somewhere else.
Mm.
So, would you not want to make an extra revenue stream and keep your boys employed? To me, that's a no-brainer. But some guys like to travel. I guess they shut down and leave country for a month or two. But,
What are the problems if you are a tree service company and you said you had been this and you basically shut down for winter, and as soon as spring comes around, what problems do you face every year?
hmm. We're back into
I imagine,
we're back into the same boat as what we're in right now, where it's warm in the day and cold at night, and so you
yeah.
schedule.
But I was thinking, and I don't know how it works, but if you shut down and folks have to, look for alternative revenue,
Mhm.
maybe income, sorry,
Yep.
payment, whatever, do you lose
Oh
people?
yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
You do. So then in spring, then you have to basically go and look for new
Yeah, you're
people, and
rehiring it.
you're
So then you got to retrain, and
right.
so if your season picks up in April, typically like
Mm.
ours does, April, mid to end April, because our snow contracts end April 15th. You got to be
Mm.
hunting for guys in February.
That would scare me as a
Oh,
business owner
it's terrible.
because yeah, every
It makes no
year
sense.
you're back to square
Yeah,
one.
like it makes no
Mm.
sense to me. You're just going to lose your guys. Well, what?
Right.
And that's why we started, like I say, was to keep guys employed. To me, anyways, and
Yeah.
you know, my wife likes shopping, so she has to agree. But it's a no-brainer. Like it's
And is it difficult to find people if you shut down and you open up again in spring? Is it difficult to find people, especially if you've had
yes and no.
a
Like
year's worth of working with
yeah,
people?
like hope
Uh, you know,
you hope that you can make some contacts maybe over the summer of guys that say do plowing that can give your guys a
right,
job.
right.
Somebody who you can say, hey, I've got a possibility for you. Um,
Mm.
that allow you to have some income over the winter. I want you back in the springtime. And some guys will come back. We had the issue, like kind of like everybody else I talked to. We can't find qualified employees regardless anymore.
Mm.
Didn't really used to be the case, but to find a qualified guy was still tough. You could find lots of people wanting to work, but now it seems too like you can't find even a half qualified guy. Like, and
Mm.
to hire somebody, train them up, so you're halfway through the summer, and then to let them go, and then to find somebody else next year, it's a nightmare. It's
Mm.
it's it's a nightmare.
So if I wanted to grow a company, what I'm hearing is just reeling back, get my foundation sorted out first, all of the foundational things, the T's and C's, the software, the
Hmm.
whatever else I need, start the work, try and run it through winter because we're in the
Hmm.
north, keep the staff employed, trained
Yeah,
up, and
yeah,
happy and valued. And then as I go into spring, I have those people with me
yeah,
still,
yeah. Because they're sick
and
of
we just
snow
keep
now, or
going
they're
forward.
sick of the winter work, so they're
I was sick of it
yeah,
last week.
yeah, yeah. Oh, me too. Oh, but they're ready to go, right? They want to see trees, and then by the end of
Yeah.
summer, we've noticed they're kind of getting sick of trees, and they want to break. and so we shuffled
Yeah.
them in the
Okay.
snow. And
Interesting.
but yeah, like to keep guys busy, basically. Whether and we have yard days. Like this week, it's supposed to
Mm.
rain on Wednesday, so
Mm.
we're gonna be at the shop, and we'll probably go for lunch or
Yeah.
something. But just keep guys moving, right? Keep guys busy.
Mm.
They
Mm.
don't want to sit at home. That
Right.
they don't want to. They get bored, and they'll be on Indeed or something, just scrolling through and find something else, and oh yeah, toss your resume in there, and next thing you're
Mm.
getting a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just going back to one of we were kind of talking about how companies, like successful companies, can think differently from a kind of a
Mm.
struggling company or someone who isn't
Mm.
isn't moving where they want to. And I had kind of my points list here. I had to delegate. Right, that
Mm.
was a huge thing for me. And granted,
Mm.
it was two guys or three guys, but the biggest thing that I ever did was hire on a foreman, right? Who's
Mm.
now like he runs the whole tree division um, of our company, but to be able to delegate that, like, hey, I need you to take care of this, right? To go and
Right.
do this because
Right.
you can't be. Before I was doing all the quotes, so I'd be gone all weekend doing quotes, in the evenings doing quotes.
Mm.
Excuse me. I was on site every day, right, doing the climbing, doing the cutting, and then you
Mm.
have to be there for cleanup. And then once you're done cleanup, you hope it's not too late where you can call people or go and do a couple quotes to try and stay ahead of it. And you just can't. You can't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get burned.
So delegation, getting the right structure in place as
Yeah.
well, that allows you to have more free time to. What do you do?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not less busy.
I was going to say, you're not just sitting around drinking
Yeah,
coffee. You're doing something that you should be
yeah,
doing, not.
I wish. I'm still up by
Yeah.
5 in the morning to get ready, and if I'm doing paperwork or
Yeah.
like we have my mother just retired. She was an office manager for 35 years with the city. So she's in
Mm.
the office with my wife now. Um, they're
Mm.
implementing a new software for us, but just trying to get things organized where I wasn't doing it
Mm.
and my wife couldn't keep up to it. She's also trying to
Yeah.
raise our three kids and take care of the house, and
Right. Right.
and I was bad because I wouldn't do it. I'd let a foot high stack of paperwork just pile up, and I'd say, oh yeah, okay, well,
Mm.
we'll shove that in the drawer and see you later. Because I get home at
Mm.
9 or 10 o'clock at night, and then you're up early and you're gone before the kids and everybody's up, and there's just wash, rinse, and repeat.
Got to run a tight ship, and that means having all the right people in the right
Yeah,
places.
yeah.
Simple as that. Otherwise, it's just going to presumably end up in
Well,
chaos,
it does.
and then
It does.
you're going to end up, I don't know, missing a tax payment, and then you got to deal with the tax off or whatever it is.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
missing a tax payment. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're talking to the right guy. The Canadian government loves me. Oh,
They seem to love everybody.
yeah. That's when I lose.
You know why that was on my mind,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that's when I lose sleep over. It's like, oh, geez, I wonder
Yeah.
how much in taxes we owe this month. Oh, just 70,000. Okay, well, we'll deal with that next month. Yeah, we'll get that sent over. Like, oh, it's.
But it's true though. I mean, if you if you want to go from two people, doing weekends and evenings, and really whatever business it is, you have to take a
Yeah.
risk. You have to invest in somebody who's going to take work away from you, so that you can do the things you should
Yeah.
be doing, and hopefully bring in more revenue over
Yeah.
time to deal with
Yeah,
that.
well, that was the thing. I think with me doing even 90% of the paperwork, I was hurting the business instead of having a
Mm.
dedicated office staff. And granted, it's my wife
Right.
and my mother, but I don't know who else I would trust more with the business that we've grown from nothing to take care
Right.
and maintain,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
want to see the best possible outcome.
Right.
So and
Right.
and they get stressed, the pair of them, because they don't want to make a mistake, because they know how valuable one little
Yeah.
number change can be,
Mm.
right? Where the accountant,
Yeah, for
they just
sure.
plug it into a system and bing bang boom and on to the next one.
Mm.
So they don't really have our best interest in heart. So
Mm. Mm. So where do you see yourself going from now? We're 2025 winter,
yeah,
and do you have grand visions? You were talking about software that you're bringing
yeah.
in.
Well, we're trying to, and I'm probably not supposed to talk about it, but we're we're trying to implement, and I haven't been able to find it. And like I said, but I'm not really good on technology. I can use Google. I call it the Google. I can use that. But to go
It's
to go in depth on a search engine is that's far beyond my capability. I fix stuff and I go to work, right? That's what I'm good at. Um, but we're starting to work on like a job tracking platform.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
and it kind of ties back in, and you might know more about this than me, but it kind of ties back into like the marketing aspect of it. Um,
Mm.
so we want to be able to properly track our jobs on like a map basis and see where kind of your job corridor is, and
Right.
be able to put more marketing into those areas, or say, hey, we
Mm.
want to start branching to the west more. And right now where most of our jobs are north of us, right? So, and I
Mm.
haven't been able to find something that properly does kind of what I want it to do.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so we've been working on that, but my pudgy fingers and low
Mm.
technology skills, it hasn't gone too far yet. But uh,
Delegation works.
yeah, that's what I want.
That's
Yeah,
exactly right.
yeah. And the other thing is a salesman, like a full
Mm.
time salesman. I have a friend of
Mm.
mine who he runs a $4 million a year business, and he is a full time salesman. And he said that was
Mm.
the biggest thing. He said where I went from, right around 1 million a year to quadrupled in size. He said was a full time salesman. He says going out
Mm.
and making those connections with other companies, working on municipal quotes and all the bid platforms that are out there, and he scours them all day. He said that was the
Yeah.
biggest jump that he's ever made.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where
Yeah.
we're at. We're trying to find somebody who
Mm.
is a decent talker, who's a good salesman. Um, but
Mm.
they're far and few in between, it seems.
It's difficult to find anybody these
It
days.
is. It is.
I'm not sure why that is. I really don't know. But
Like,
yeah.
but people want to work. They complain that there is no work. Everybody I know is
Mm.
hiring. Everybody.
Mm.
Every company I know is hiring.
Is it just a mismatch between where people are looking and
I think so.
where you're
Well, I
looking?
think so. Like people
Maybe.
got during COVID, and I'd be damned if I'll say its
Mm.
name, but people got comfortable sitting at home, and you could make the 2 grand a month. Right? You didn't have to do
Mm.
anything. All the young kids, it
Right.
ruined all the 18 to 23, 25-year olds because they didn't
Mm.
have to go to work. Right? They're living with their parents. They don't have many bills. They don't have an expensive mortgage, and where we were during those years, we were busier than ever. We couldn't find
Mm.
enough guys to fill the seats. Like we,
It's like everybody doing their patios and so
oh,
forth in their gardens as well,
oh, it was
right? It's the
crazy.
same.
We would
Yeah.
we would have
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
call, and you'd give them a price. And they'd say, "Yeah, okay, no problem.
Mm.
It's my vacation money.
Mm.
My vacation got canceled. So I'm
Mm.
at home, looking at the office
Mm.
window, and I see this tree, and I want it gone."
Yeah.
But we were
Yeah.
so busy, it was unreal. Like this year's kind of been a weird year, but typically, and especially back then, like by August, by early to mid
Mm.
August, we were full until Christmas. Our schedule was booked,
Mm.
and that happened
Wow.
consistently for probably a good 3 years
Mm.
where we didn't even have enough time to get to the work that was coming in. We were already booking for the following
Mm.
spring, and
Wow.
it just went
Mm.
chaotic. And this year,
Wow.
when we kind of expanded, we bought some more equipment and outfitted some more trucks and got more guys, and we were able to keep it at bay. But this year was a little off. It was different with the economy
I,
getting to
I've heard that actually, but I've heard the same thing from different areas in Canada, but also the
yeah,
States as well. So I think everybody's having a bit of a weird
yeah,
year. And there was some strange weather as well that did happen, and some strange weather that didn't
yeah.
happen.
The weather in April, like we were in Barrie for 3 months with that ice storm.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
working for
yeah,
through Kodiak Tree Service for
yeah.
Simcoe County,
Mm.
and it
Mm.
was that really set us off for the year. Um, where because then we started getting calls back here not shortly thereafter, so we were back
Mm.
home trying to do tree work. Well, we had guys on rotation up in Barrie that were doing tree
Mm.
work up there.
That's a long way to
It
go from
is,
Smith Falls to
yeah,
Barrie, isn't it?
yeah. The money was there though.
Wow.
They were on they
Fair
were on
enough.
4 day rotations, so they'd go down for
Mm.
4 days, then they come home for 4 days. Really, they'd
Mm.
probably get about 2 days off, and then they'd be working up here helping us.
Mm.
But it was 12 hours a day for 7 days a week, and we
Mm.
were there from
That's tough.
April. I want to say April 10th, something like that,
Mm.
because I had my birthday here. My birthday's April 8th. The guys got home July 4th,
Mm.
so it was a full 3 months.
So you guys seem to be doing okay down there in Smith Falls,
Well, we're busy. We're busy, like, and with the municipal contracts really help fill the schedule too.
right?
Like working for
Right.
Smith Falls and working for Merrickville, like.
Is there a trick to getting those? Again, if I was, if I was starting a tree service company, how do you get municipal or
Are you starting a
you
tree
know?
service company in my area or? um, yeah,
Is it who you know?
yeah.
Is it?
Well, we recently started getting some township work too, and that might be who you know.
Mm.
I'm not 100% sure yet, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah, fair enough.
um, no, like there's Mercs like MERX, and there's bids and
Mm.
tenders. Most of that stuff comes out on bids and tenders, or
Right.
or you watch and it gets posted to their
Mm.
own website. The problem is a lot of times they already have either a contractor in mind
Sure.
or somebody
Mm.
they've worked with that they've already got a relationship
Mm.
with, and they kind of tailor the contract to one individual, or it comes out and it's
Right.
only open for a week. So by the time you look at it, you don't
Right.
have time to put together your bids and get them in, because it is quite the process. Like
Mm.
a lot of them require $5 million insurance, and a lot of them
Mm.
now require an ISA arborist, um,
Mm.
which which in its own right, can be hard to get. The ISA guys get scooped up pretty quick, so you got to pay a guy, unfortunately, a lot more than what he's worth to keep him around, just to have that little number beside his name.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but it is what it is. It's kind of a part of
Mm.
business, if you will.
It's demand,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
I guess more than
yeah.
anything.
It's
Yeah.
supply and demand. They can't turn ISA guys out fast enough. And yeah, most of the contracts require them. I know the
Mm.
townships around us,
Mm.
they all require an ISA number, so which is it's fine.
Mm.
I don't have mine, um, which I've thought about it over the last few years. Never never really saw a need until we kind of got into more and more of these contracts, where I'm
Mm.
not relying on having somebody else. But at the same time, that was one of my points was delegating, right? You need to rely on your
Exactly.
employees
Yeah.
and treat them like family, and
Mm.
if they
Mm.
feel that they're being heard in their concerns, or that they're treated fairly, then they'll stick around. They have no reason to leave,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and whether or not you need that
Hmm.
certification as a business owner is another
Yeah.
question, right? Because you're trying to grow and you're trying to run a
Hmm.
company to keep families fed and people
Yeah.
employed. It's a very different skill set.
I would rather have a guy on staff with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
certification. Um,
yeah.
Same as, like our operations manager, he's got his Ontario certification, so that does it for most of it. We have
Mm,
an ISA guy, but our forestry technician, like we're not a company filled with ISA guys. I give the guys the option, like we send everybody for training at least once a year.
mm,
We've done the crane climber school. We've done Arboriculture Canada, their technical rigging stuff, and um, so I give them an option. Like if you want to do it, I'm perfectly fine with that. It'll add something to your resume. It'll be able for me to increase your pay, showing
mm.
that you've brought something additional to the table. Um, but it's it is what it is, right? It's
Great.
no, it's one or the other. But
Well, we're coming to the end of our time together there, Greg.
oh,
Really, really appreciate you coming
oh no, I
along.
appreciate
Time
it. So
flies. So where can people find you?
um,
I know you've got a great Facebook page for a start, because I look at your videos
oh
all the
yeah.
time.
Well, we're on all social media, Graham. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Google, TikTok. TikTok's a relatively new one. You just search JWD or JWD Tree. You'll find us. You'll find us. We're not
Yep.
super hard.
And of course, your website is jwtree.ca
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
You're located in Smith
Yes,
Falls
sir.
in Ontario, Canada. If anybody needs tree service in Smith Falls, call Greg.
Oh, well, we appreciate it. We do, and I really appreciate this. This was fun. We'll have to. I've got all these points here I wrote down, and I think I only covered maybe 3 or 4 of them in total. So,
That's what, that's always the way it goes. You end up with a big list of stuff. I have a big list here, and then you end up talking about other things. But maybe we can get
oh,
together again in the
absolutely.
future and do this
Yeah.
again. I think I think we're sort of 6 or 7 podcast
Yep.
episodes in, and every single person that's been on, I want to recircle back
Yeah.
with and talk to
Yeah.
again,
Well.
because there's a wealth of knowledge and
Yeah.
information.
Well, you seem to target good people, right? That know their point in the industry, right? And that I think this will be really good for you. I think this is,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun,
and if nothing else,
and
you get the interactions, and yeah,
exactly,
yeah. No,
exactly,
I
it's a
really
lot of
enjoy it.
fun.
So I listen to
Awesome,
podcasts. I
awesome.
barely listen to the radio, so
Yeah, exactly.
podcasts
Yeah,
and to yours,
awesome.
and of course the Joe Rogan one, but he's 3 hours. So 3 hours is a long time.
I promise, I promise people I won't go 3 hours.
Well, if you've got a nice
We always
studio
try
in
to stick.
Texas, you can just fly me down.
Exact. Well, there's that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. In future,
Yeah.
I guarantee. Awesome. Thanks so
No
much, Greg.
worries. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to speak
Yes,
to you.
absolutely. All right. Take care.